Yeah, man, I just feel like it's just gonna be another game for me. Obviously, got a lot of ties there, but I think the atmosphere is gonna be great. I kind of know what a Packer Green Bay game looks like, and I know the fan base is gonna be pretty rowdy. So I'm just excited for a competitive matchup on Sunday night prime football.
Do you feel like there's added fuel going into Sunday at all?
Nah, just for me, I just feel like my few's always been trying to be the best player. And when you got a good team and you got to beat them, and you got to show up in a primetime game. This is the moment that you got to be your best player for yourself, for your team, and everyone there.
How do you make it just another game? I mean, them trading you is the biggest story of the year in the NFL. How do you personally make it just another game?
Well, I just personally like just knowing me. Like once the game starts, who's going to be worried about any trade? Like it's just me against them 5 men in front of me. You know what I mean? And then we got one common goal, and that's to win the football game. And how we win the football game is winning the line of scrimmage and affecting Dak and how good he's been playing this year. So I think the fans, the media is gonna get off on the pre-draft, the hype, and all that. But once the games, ain't no one talking about the trade. We talking about winning a football game.
Michael, what do you think? Yeah.
What kind of reception do you expect to get from the fan base?
I think Dallas loves me. I think they're going to give me a good round of applause. And, there's no hard feelings there, at least for me. And I think it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be a great atmosphere. I think, this is some of the best football you're going to get in Dallas when it's Sunday night against, a rivalry opponent.
Have you talked to any of the guys from Dallas at all since you've been gone? Or maybe
Yeah,
even
yeah. I still talk to Trey. Me and Trey tap in at least once a week. I talked to CD recently just on his injury and keeping his spirit. So I told him it's like a freaky way because I got hurt week 3 last year on a high ankle sprain too. So I'm just praying for him and hoping he comes back soon because I told him I said the standard. At least need 1,000 yards regardless of how many weeks you are. The standard's the standard. So we both talk about that. That's my brother. Then obviously the D lineman. I talk to them quite a bit. Those just being my guys, and so I still have my relationship ties there.
How many tickets did you get for this game?
I still got my suite. There, so I was good on tickets.
If there was any fuel for this game, how much just motivation has this group been trying to find from that Week 3 loss against the Browns?
I think at the end of the day, it's about resetting and rebuilding. The Bears game is what it is. Like we can't go back and turn the corner on that page, but we got a good chance to go into a bye with a win, and it's the utmost importance that we come in dialed in, focused, doing all the little things to make sure we don't give away another game. Having a lead like that in the fourth quarter and end up losing that game the way we did, that's painful. So what we got to do is just relock in and win this one.
So you couldn't get a refund on your suite?
Nah, no refunds.
You booked it for the whole year?
Yeah, no refunds.
How many people will you have there, do you think? How many people will you have in the suite, do you think?
The suite's gonna be packed out for sure, forever. And trust me, I got a big suite. So,
Have you ever actually set foot in the visitors' locker room in that stadium?
nah, never. Well, honestly, no, I don't think so. Honestly, nah.
I was just curious.
How much can you use your knowledge of their offense and their offensive line to your guys' advantage this week?
Well, I think it gives me an advantage because, like I said, I know how these guys play. I know how they want to play. I know the identity that they wanted to create. And so I just got to use that to my advantage. You know, it's funny because, I spent all training camp helping these guys and guiding, teaching them how to block me and just things like that. So it's just going to be a fun matchup. I know he's not gonna text me this week, but he might hit me up after the game, and that's just to me, he's like a little brother to me, and he know that, and there's not anything I wouldn't help him on. So just going to compete against him live, I think he's just as anticipated as me.
Out of curiosity, did you and Kenny Clark ever have a chance to talk, or did you guys ever reach out at all?
Yeah, I had reached out to him just on the suite, see if he wanted to trade, things like that, and just hope this isn't disrespectful to you or anything, But I reached out to him though for sure.
Have you and Jerry Jones communicated at all since he got here?
Nah, I mean I never even heard from Jerry Jones himself when I even got traded. I found out through my agent. I haven't talked to Jerry Jones since OTAs. So, it's just like one of those things.
How much differently have the Cowboys looked offensively since Coach Schottenheimer took over these first 3 weeks? And how much are they going to miss CD in this game?
Well, I think anybody who don't got a CD Lamb don't know what it's like to not have a CD Lamb more than us. And we dealt with that last year. So I think the offense is completely different without CD Lamb. I don't think, me personally, he's my favorite wide receiver in the NFL. I just think the way he carries himself, the way he plays with so much heart, so much grit, his catching ability. And I tell him all the time, he's my favorite wide receiver. And he's an amazing person to watch. So I'm honestly excited that he's not going to be out in that field because it would have been painful to understand who I was going against. But like I said, I think the offense is a little bit differently. It's going to require other guys to step up. But obviously the offense looked different. When you're watching that film, they were a really explosive offense from week 1 to 3 with CD on the field. And obviously you kind of see a difference. But you can't game plan your best player going out. So we're going to get a different game plan than Chicago got that second half.
What do you like about rushing over centers and guards?
Well, to me, I just feel like it's not just the centers and guards. I just feel like we're creating matchups, and I feel like I'm the best player against all of them. It don't matter left, right, left guard, right guard. Some guys, I think their numbers drop at different positions, but sustainably, whether it's your best player versus my, I think, I'm winning those matchups. So I just think my percentages go a little bit higher when I'm over them too. So.
Usually when a player returns to a team they gave so much for, they do a tribute. Jerry said he wasn't going to do that for you. Do you find that as a little disrespectful?
No, there's a lot of things I can consider disrespectful throughout this process, but I wouldn't say the tribute is one of them. I would say, I just think, there's hard feelings maybe there for them. But, for me, I'm happy where I'm at. And we got a really good football team. So I guess I can live you my tribute and a win, I hope.
Micah, when you were saying you were helping, I'm assuming you were talking about one of the offensive linemen. Who were you talking about specifically? The guy you won't talk to this week?
Yeah, Guyton, Nate Thomas. There wasn't a guy I wasn't helping out. T-Book. I was being a mentor and voice for all of them, and they know that. Just the relationships. I came in with all of them, and I took them under my wing. So, those is like brothers to me always. So, I know what the relationship's like.
I know you said it's just another game, but seriously, what would it mean to you have to make the game-changing play on Sunday, whether it's a sack fumble in the first half or the clinching sack, whatever it is?
I look for those games every week. I was hoping I'd get to the quarterback last week. It's great when you do, and it sucks when you don't. So I won't bank on me trying to make that play. I try every play to make that type of play. That's why, they brought me here. That's why my value is so high, because I make those type of plays. But, I just got to do that. I just got to be me. I got to know when my opportunity is going to come. And we got to play 3 phases of football for that to happen. People don't realize how hard it is to get sacks in the NFL. We all don't get freebies. At least I'm out of that world. So, I got to work for them. So I got to work. I got a great challenge in front of me. I know they're not going to make it easy for me. I know that, they got a plan for me, but, it's not about me. If they worry about me, I got other guys. I got D.Y., I got Carl, I got Rashawn, who's dominating this year. So, we got a group of guys that they need to focus on, so I have that to my advantage.
What makes Dak such a difficult quarterback for a guy that obviously knows him really well?
I think Dak is so good because he's overly confident, and he believes he can make every throw, and I think 90% of the time he does do that. He does, and you want your quarterback to have that mentality. And I just think, he's a person who's very resilient, and he's determined, and, I never would bet against him,